So we're here with David, who's one of the young delegates. David, how old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
And where are you from?
I'm from West Newbury, Massachusetts, proud to represent the Mass 6th District at the DNC convention as one of the youngest delegates.
From Kamala Harris, it's still kind of early. It's been a very, very quick transition from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris. Here we are at the convention now, and a lot of the policies aren't totally concrete yet. But from what you've heard so far, what is something that really sticks out to you from Kamala?
Well, her policy on preventing gun violence is something that's really important to me. As a young person, I don't want to have to go to school and worry about, the safety of my friends, my family, and myself, whether we'll be shot dead in our classroom. School is a place where we need to feel safe and feel like we belong and feel like, we're able to learn. I know Governor Walz knows that as a teacher, how important that is. I know Kamala Harris brings her perspective as a law enforcement officer, as someone who prosecuted violent criminals. I know that she is going to protect our communities and in contrast to the Republicans who often talk about public safety, Kamala Harris is going to enact policies and push for policies that will actually stem the crisis of gun violence by preventing the one thing that connects all shootings, guns, from getting in the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
What do you think could trigger a mass run to the polls for young people? What hypothetical here? Let's say you're writing policy yourself. What could you hope for?
Like what policies would I hope that they pursue?
Anything that would bring. I don't know if it's Taylor Swift coming and getting all the girls to sing along as they march to the polls.
Let me say, I think that there's been so much energy from, obviously Kamala Harris's, fandom of Beyonce throughout this race. I hope she comes out. I hope she is one of our speakers and singers at this Democratic National Convention. Maybe Taylor Swift. I'm sure she'd be helpful too. Any celebrity that brings young people who admire them, who like them, into the political fold, certainly welcome to me. But I think the most important thing to engage young people is obviously policy. So I think one thing that Kamala Harris could do, one policy that she could improve on in order to engage more young people is the policy on Israel and Gaza. I am proud to be a ceasefire delegate, a delegate who supports putting pressure on the Israeli government to adopt a ceasefire plan by imposing an arms embargo on them for offensive military aid. And I know that if Kamala Harris takes a stronger stance on behalf of the protesters who are here in Chicago, across the country, and young people and people of color across the world who want change on this issue, I think that she has an opportunity to present that new perspective and engage young people in the process.
And how would you rate how she's handled the situation so far?
She's definitely handled it differently from Joe Biden. She's brought a lot more empathy to this issue. I know in her first press conference as our party's nominee, obviously in her official capacity as vice president in that role, she definitely expressed a lot of empathy for the suffering people of Gaza. And I think that perspective is welcome. So I think that she's handled this so far relatively well. I know she met with members of the uncommitted movement in Detroit a few days ago, which was also great. So I think she's handled it well. I hope she continues to push on the policy front.